It's prime time, a fitting time for the Driscoll Highlanders to achieve high school football history. 5 consecutive state championships. But in their way tonight, the Newton Eagles playing in their 83rd season, but first ever championship tilt. It's all next on the IHSA TV network.
All right, and welcome back to Memorial Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois. We have 3 state championship games in the books and 1 more to go tonight. I'm Mike Cleff, and of course we've been bringing you the action all day here at Memorial Stadium. Your winners in the first 3 games today in the Class 1A game, the Ackman Bulldogs were victorious. In Class 2A, the Dakota Indians take home the state championship, and in the Class 3A game, the game most recently completed, the Bureau Valley Storm were in their their state championship. So congratulations to the Storm on winning their first ever state title. Now the 4A game between a team that's not as familiar as being here, but still a quality team to say the least, the Newton Eagles. They will be coached by the veteran Bob Horst, a highly respected coach, and they're taking on a team in a much different situation, the Driscoll Catholic Highlanders, going for their 5th consecutive state championship. So a contrast in situations to say the least. And to talk more about this matchup and what should be a very interesting final game of the evening, we kick it up to the booth to the 2 men who will call tonight's Class 4A state championship game, Lee Hall and Greg Bradshaw. Take it away, guys.
All right, Mike, thanks a lot, and it's our privilege and our honor to be here tonight for what could be an historic evening at Memorial Stadium. Greg Bradshaw, Driscoll Catholic going for an unprecedented 5th straight state title of all the great programs, Joliet Catholics, the New Lenox Providences that have won 4 straight. Nobody's ever won 5 in a row. Driscoll Catholic could become the first here tonight.
Certainly Driscoll is one of the premier programs in our state, but Newton might have something to say about that tonight. They've got a great offense, and we're going to see some great action tonight in the 4A state championship.
Of course, this is the final destination on the road to state. Let's look at how the 2 teams got here, and you see the Highlanders with shutout wins in their first 2 weeks against Harvard and Hampshire. Good ball game, better ball game against Richmond Burton. That one was at Richmond, and Driscoll comes up with a 31-15 win, and then they win at home last week over Coal City, who made it to the state championship a year ago here at Champaign. For Newton, they won against Effingham and Breeze Central. Pretty easy win, at least on the scoreboard, 35-12 over Anna Jonesboro, and then a thriller against Mahomet Seymour. Last week, it went to overtime, only 1 touchdown scored in that game. Newton hung on to win, and they make it here after traveling to Mahomet, just about 10 miles down the road. They come back this weekend for the trip here to Champaign, their first visit for the state championship, and it's new territory for the Eagles here tonight.
Yes, it is, and they're going against, again, like we said, one of the best programs in the state. It's kind of a David-Goliath story here tonight, and we're looking forward to seeing how Newton will attack this great Driscoll defense and how they can stop some of the best athletes in the state.
All right, the Highlanders, for some of these guys, it's their 3rd season or 4th season coming here for a state championship. Some of the freshmen dressed some of the seniors rather dressing when they were freshmen. Let's take a look at the key players for tonight's game. First for the visitors from Driscoll Catholic.
Well, number 2, John Tranchitella, 6'2", 200. He's rushed for over 700 yards. That's deceptive because they have a lot of guys that rush the football, but he's also a threat when they split him out and throw to him. He's got 18 touchdowns. John is headed to Northern Illinois University, and he is a big weapon in that offense.
So many weapons, and as Mike Brazawa will tell you, a lot of his starters haven't played complete games because there have been blowouts, and he's had to pull his starters. So some of their stats may not be as impressive as some other teams, but let me tell you, when you see this Driscoll team out there on the field, you will see a very quality offensive squad. Defensively, Kyle Jenkins is the main man, the defensive end.
Yeah, Kyle Jenkins, he's looking at 6'5", 235 all-state defensive end. His responsibility tonight is to get pressure on the good quarterback, Jake Semple from Newton, and he rushes the passer with a vengeance. You can see 29 sacks on the year, and he's looking to add to that total this evening.
All right, that's the story for Driscoll Catholic. Now for the Newton Eagles, making their first ever visit to the state championship. They run a spread offense, wide open, West Coast type defense, and of course, the key player in that is always the quarterback, and for the Eagles, it's Jake Semple.
Yeah, Jake Semple's going to have to make a lot of great decisions tonight. There's a lot of riding on his shoulders. He makes this offense go. He's reading the defenses and making the plays and the calls at the line. You can see he's had a fantastic year, 33 touchdowns versus 6 interceptions, basically 1 interception for every 60 throws. He's a great quarterback. He's going to have to play great tonight.
All right, defensively for the Eagles, Coach Horst will say that he couldn't be here if it wasn't for his defense, even though the offense gets a lot of the publicity. Brian Bierman.
Yeah, Brian is a junior, but he is the key to this defense. You see 131 tackles on the year. He also has a lot of sacks. He's got a lot of pressure on him because they throw the ball and they run the ball effectively, Driscoll. So he's got to make some great plays this evening to give Newton a chance from the defensive side of the ball.
All right, Driscoll Catholic, one of 4 teams in the state to have won 4 straight. What did they do in year 5? Joliet Catholic did not qualify in '79. Mount Carmel lost to Joliet Catholic in the semifinals in, well, that should read '79, I believe. Providence Catholic is the only one of the teams to make it to the state championship game in that 5th year, and they lost to Mount Carmel. Of course, Driscoll Catholic now has made it to the 5th straight championship game, and they will try to win it, be the first team to win it. So it should be interesting tonight. Like you said, David against Goliath, the very much experienced state powerhouse Driscoll Catholic against the newcomers from Newton, and we will have that ball game for you coming up next from Memorial Stadium right here in Champaign. Let's go to the PA announcer for tonight's starting lineups.
Class 4A State Football Championship. First, the defense for Newton High School. At end, number 72, Stephen Frichtel. At tackle, number 60, Joe Frichtel. At end, number 66, William Hoffeditz. Linebacker, number 34, Sean Martin. And linebacker number 42, Brian Bierman. And linebacker number 87, Adam Schaefer. At linebacker number 40, Alexander Cable. At cornerback number 22, Trevor Scott. At rover number 81, Kyle Pittman. At free safety, number 24, Levi Richards. And at quarterback, number 83, Doug Clear. The Eagles are coached by Bob Horst. And now the starting offense for Driscoll Catholic. At quarterback, number 13, Phil Peedy. At halfback, number 2, John Tranchitella. At fullback, number 20, Justin Nudo. At wide receiver, number 82, Dominic Fantano. At wide receiver, number 32, Mike Redpath. At tight end, number 17, Kyle Jenkins. At left tackle, number 54, Ben Baffa. At left guard, number 59, Mike Fennell. At center, number 61, Jeff Turner. At right guard, number 79, Anthony DeGrazia. And a right tackle, number 57, Kyle Sanders. The Highlanders are coached by Mike Berzawa.
Everybody.
Mike Berzawa in his first year as head coach, longtime assistant at Driscoll, former Driscoll Catholic Highlander himself. He played on the 91 state championship team, the first championship team in Driscoll history. Let's go to your keys to the game, Greg.
On Driscoll's side, physical domination. They really outman, from a physical standpoint, the defensive line, particularly of Newton. They need to establish those big guys up front and run the football. Mix it up on D. They got to show Jake Simple a lot of different looks with their coverages and their blitz package today. And then lastly, make them earn it. Don't give up the big play. Make Newton drive the ball, not get the big play.
And now for the Eagles, how about their keys?
Well, Newton, they've got to survive early. There's a lot of hype to this game, the whole big Driscoll aura. They need to survive early, get into a football game, survive the early onslaught from Driscoll, and just settle down. Getting the rhythm on O. They have a great controlled passing game. They need to just keep moving the chains, get some first downs, and get into some rhythm. They can't have a lot of 3 and outs. And then lastly, quickness. They are completely outmanned from a physical standpoint, but they're really quick, and they've got to use that to their advantage, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, to make quick tackles and hopefully get some negative plays on the defensive side.
All right, you can see it's a little bit breezy here tonight at Memorial Stadium. Let's take a look at where these two teams hail from. Newton is from a little bit southeast of Effingham.
Newton's from Newton.
Newton's from Newton, southeast of
are.
Effingham, right there. There's Effingham. What's that, 64 and 57 right there, just southeast. And Addison, of course, west suburb. Newton was just here last week, just up the road, as we mentioned, at Mahomet, beating Mahomet Seymour in overtime in a game that was a wild finish. Mahomet Seymour drove and kicked a field goal into a crosswind in the final with 14 seconds to play, sent it to overtime, and the big fella right here, Will May, number 55, kicked what proved to be the winning field goal as Mahomet fumbled on their second play in overtime. Dominic Sinise, Mike Redpath back to receive. This is Sinise at the 8-yard line for Driscoll Catholic. He brings it out across the 30, 35, 40. He's out to the 45 and wrestled down finally near midfield after a pickup of 42.
Nice return, good execution up front by the front line of Driscoll, starting them in great field position right at the 50-yard line.
And there's a look at the weather, and let me tell you, it's a little chilly. That wind chill is 16, and it's every bit of that. Winds out of the southeast at 13, a little bit gusty tonight too, I think.
That's right. Shouldn't affect the passing game too much, particularly the short passes. It might affect some of the long balls tonight.
Bill Petey, junior quarterback, under center. As the Highlanders begin at midfield, that was Redpath in motion. The handoff is to Nudo. He goes around the right side, and now he has some run to room to across the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Grab from behind, but he's in for the score, and there's a flag on the play at the 35.
It's going to come back. It looks like we had a hold about the 35-yard line. But a good example. There's Justin Nudo. We haven't talked about him at all, but he's a big, strong kid. He can break it. As long as with Transatella, and just a good example of the explosiveness of this team.
So many weapons.
Illegal
for
block
the
in the
Highlanders.
back on the white.
Illegal block in the back against Driscoll, and that'll bring it back. And that's one of those penalties where the yardage is hidden yardage that's lost.
That's
it's
right.
not just a 10-yard penalty, it's a 60-yard penalty because they had a 50-yard gain.
That's right. Well, this is a kind of game, that Newton's got to have some of these breaks. They're going to have some breaks. They're going to have to force some turnovers, I think, from Driscoll. Driscoll's put the ball on the ground over 23 times.
So it's from the spot of the foul. And the ball will be placed at the 46-yard line. Boy, that was a great run by Justin Nudo. That was 50 yards and called back on the penalty. Petey hands off again. It's Nudo. This time he's inside the 40 and has first down yardage at the 38-yard line. Here's the starting lineups for the Driscoll Catholic Highlanders. Baffa, Fennell, Turner, DeGrazia, and Sanders, the big guys making the holes up front. Petey at quarterback, Tranchitella, we talked about in the open. Justin Nudo, the fullback, who just had his 50-yard run called back. Jenkins at tight end, Fantano, and Redpath, the wide receivers for Driscoll Catholic. First down and 10 after the gain by Nudo. Opening minutes of our 4A state final game, and flags on the play. Let's go downstairs.
The dead ball foul. False start.
False start on the Highlanders.
Main second down.
Let's take a look at the Newton starting defense. Stephen Frichtel and his cousin Joe Frichtel up front, along with William Hoffeditz. Linebackers, Sean Martin, Brian Bierman, Adam Schaefer, and Alex Cable. And defensive backfield, Trevor Scott, Doug Clear, Levi Richards, and Kyle Pittman for Bob Horse Eagles. First and 15. Had more penalties in the opening minutes here than we had in the entire first half of our 2A game. Petey to throw. One hops it short. Tranchitella was the intended receiver that time.
You're going to see a lot of that today. Driscoll likes to throw timed routes. They like the 12 to 15-yard out. They work on this. They drill it, and they're usually very effective. Into the wind, a little tougher tonight going that direction, but you'll see a lot of that timing routes from Driscoll. Yeah,
Petey has a great arm. We saw him on tape against Richmond Burton, and he can throw that out and throw it beautifully, and throws it a long way.
They run a lot of different formations, as you see. We've already seen the shotgun. Now you got a little double wing.
Second and 15, the handoffs to Redpath, and he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great swarming defense that time for Newton.
That's what they've got to do. They've got to hold Driscoll to some put them in long yardage situations, bring up 3rd and 16 here. They got to do this consistently tonight. They've survived. We talked about that surviving early. It's really obviously positive for them that first play was called back, and now they just got to try to get them to punt the ball here and get an opportunity to move the ball with their offense.
3rd and 16, Petey in the shotgun. Tranchitella in motion. Flag on the play. Petey scrambles left, and he's run out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Pickup of 6, but let's see what the flag is. Good
coverage there by the Newton defense. Did a nice job. There was really not much pressure on Petey, and he didn't have anybody open, so he had to scramble. But looks like it's going to be against Driscoll.
An illegal shift on the offense.
Oof. There's a look at our officials for tonight's 4A game. William Sherlock, Ralph Stevens, John Anderson, Joseph Elder, our referee, and Jim Perkins.
Joe Elder, all right. John Elder, longtime executive director of the Illinois High School Coaches Association. His son is out there, and he is a great official. He does a lot of games up in northern Illinois area where I'm from.
There's a good look at Mike Berzawa with the headsets on. His first year as head coach, 10 years at Driscoll. 7 years he was offensive coordinator for Tim Rackey, who moved on to Nazareth. Responsible for the first 4 as head coach.
Newton declined that, bring up 4th and 11 here, so a really good job for that Newton defense. They were fortunate. Those guys in the black and white pinstripes helped them out a little bit, but they'll take it any way they can, and now they got a chance to get the football.
Richards and Britton back to receive. Kyle Jenkins will punt into the wind. And it takes a Driscoll bounce, and it will be down, still rolling down at the 9-yard line. Punt of 32 for Kyle Jenkins. So a good job that time by the Newton defense. A lot of people don't think Newton has a chance in this game.
Yeah, they
read papers and read websites and that kind of thing.
You got to show up and you got to play football. It doesn't matter what's on the stat page. You got to come to play, and certainly if you've gotten this far, this Newton team can play some football, and we're going to get a chance to see what they do here on offense.
And it's Sun Times All-Stater Jake Semple at quarterback for the Eagles to start things off from his own 9-yard line. Semple didn't look like he had a very good grip on that one, and Richards was the intended receiver, incomplete. Here's the Newton starting lineup. Frichtel, Hoffeditz, Joe Cummins at center, Will May, and again Stephen Frichtel's cousin Joe at the other tackle. Jake Semple, Alexander Cable, Ryan Britton, and Clay Britton, their cousins as well. Levi Richards, the number one guy as far as offensive weapons, and Patrick Mendenhall at a flanker. Second down and 10 now.
You can see this, no backs. You'll see a lot of this tonight. They have about 17 different formations they like to run, so you're going to see a lot of different looks.
Here comes the pressure. Semple throws it up and throws it away. And it'll bring up third down and 10.
What you don't want to do if you're Jake Semple here is make a big mistake. If you don't have someone throw it out in the out of bounds and to come back and get another crack at it for third down.
Jenkins, Kenny, Jacoby, and Palermo up front for the Highlanders. Nudo, Fabrizi, Franken, and Gainey at the linebackers, and the defensive backs, Tranchatella, Redpath, and Schwabe. Third and 10. Nothing doing so far for the Eagles from their own 9-yard line. Here comes the pressure. Jenkins, pressure. Tipped and it's caught by number 12, Clay Britton. Oh my goodness. Did Newton, you talk about getting a break, and they're going to have to get some breaks. Newton gets a break there.
I'm telling you, here you see Jake come back. They come with a blitz. From the outside, he gets hit right as he's throwing. The ball's fluttering, and it's just tipped out of the hands of the defender right into the hands of the receiver for a huge, huge play, turn of events there. Here's another angle at it. You'll see the blitz come from the left side of your screen right there. Ball's just fluttering up in the air. It's a jump ball right into the hands of the receiver for a first down.
Jenkins almost had a sack instead. It's a 19-yard gain, first and 10 for Newton from their own 28. Semple to throw to Mendenhall he was the intended receiver, and it's incomplete. And we talked before the game, this Newton team reminds us a lot of Prairie Central, who faced Driscoll Catholic in the 4A title game 2 years ago. And Driscoll won that one 37-21.
Yeah, they had a great quarterback that year. He threw for over 300 yards in this game against Driscoll, and I know Prairie Central was called. I know Coach Horst talked to the coaches over there and looked to scheme against how Driscoll played them 2 years ago.
Second and 10. Semple all alone. Here's some more pressure. Jenkins reached out for him, couldn't grab him. Semple runs it out of bounds after a gain of a yard.
Right now, Driscoll's really only rushing 3. They blitzed once. They're only rushing 3, but they're still getting pressure on the quarterback right now. So if they can do that tonight, that's going to be a great asset for them on their defensive.
In the trenches when Driscoll has the ball, they go 215 on the average across the offensive line, and the Newton front 3, 198. Newton has the ball now. They go 197 average, and Driscoll is an average of 218. So the Newton guys are used to giving away some size throughout the year. They've done that all year. That's why the 5-wide offense, they take advantage of their speed and quickness. And their quarterback, Semple, he's back to throw again on third down and 10. Has a man. That's Clay Britton again, and he's down at the 36-yard line, short of the first down.
Yeah, Britton just needs to take his route a little longer. Here you see Jake, he gets the ball, he rolls a little bit. Jenkins comes into the inside, he rolls, comes back, and hits Britton there. Britton's a little short. He needed to run that route just about 3 or 4 more yards deeper. Here you see it again. Little half roll to the right. Nice throw right on the money, but just Britton needs to go just a little bit farther. Now it's 4th down and 2.
Levi Ashcraft to punt. And it's Mike Redpath standing on his own 30 to receive. They kick it away from him, and it takes a Newton roll, and look at it roll. Can they get there in time? They do. Down it at the 1-yard line. Holy moly. Levi Ashcraft with the 62-yard punt, thank you very much, with the wind at his back, and a roll and a smile on his face.
I tell you, Coach Horst has to be happy how this is going, even though they haven't had a chance to put any points on the board. But things are going well for them early. They've had some big breaks on the penalties. the bobbled pass that fell into the arms of Britton, and now a great punt. So far so good for Newton. Now they've got to play some good defense.
And one of the keys Bob Horst talked to us about before the game, special teams field position. And they got a doozy right there thanks to the punt. Here's Nudo with it, bringing it out, getting it out across the 10, out of the danger territory and out of bounds at the 18-yard line after a pickup of 17 for Mr. Nudo. Justin Nudo, a senior, 842 yards coming into the ball game.
Here he is on the pitch out here. He gets to the corner, great blocking outside. He's got great speed, but he's also hard to bring down. He fumbles the ball there. That's one of the things about Driscoll. They've had 27 fumbles this year, Lee, and that's one of the things Newton needs to take advantage of. They've got to get on those balls. If they get the opportunity to do it, they need to get those turnovers tonight. Obviously, turnovers and special teams are always big in championship games.
Ball on the 18. The give is to Tranchitella. He's met at the line of scrimmage and brought down. Nice job by the line that time for Newton.
Yeah, Brian Bierman did a nice job penetrating there. He didn't make the tackle initially, but he got into the backfield, really caused some problems, and then the pursuit of that defense made the play. Good job by Brian Bierman on the stunt.
2nd and 10.
Little confusion here from Driscoll.
Man in motion is Tranchitella. Petey to throw. It's complete. Red path. Picked up about 4.
Nice tackle out there by Trevor Scott.
And here's the play calling for Driscoll. They average 30 carries a game for 196 yards, pass it about half that much, and they average 133 yards in the air.
Good coverage out there by Trevor Scott, a cornerback, number 22. He did a nice job on the open field, and that's what they're going to have to do tonight, make good open field tackles on some of these athletes from Driscoll.
3rd down and 7 now. And Mike Berzawa wants to talk it over. Timeout with 6:25 to go here in the first on 3rd and 7. Let's go to a break. We will be back with more 4A state action on the IHSA TV network. And we are back. There you get a look at the scoring for Driscoll in the regular season and the playoffs.
They turn it up a notch.
Just a little bit. And we are ready to go down on the field. Ball on the 21. It's 3rd and 7 for Driscoll. 13-0 coming into this ball game. Petey fakes the handoff. Looking downfield, and it's picked off. Alex Cable picks it off, the INT for Newton. And a big defensive play by the Eagles here in the first quarter.
Here's a play here on the bootleg. He's looking, there's really nobody open. They did a great job covering. He forces the ball, throws behind Tranchitella. Great effort there by Cable, and great field position on the 30-yard line. This is what Newton needs to do.
Cable guy. 1st and 10 now from the 30.
You've been waiting to do that. You've been waiting. You
know
you had that written down.
They give it to Cable, and he is met in the backfield and brought down immediately. Matt Boise, number 58, backup lineman into the ball game.
I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball very effectively. I think they're going to have to go with their controlled passing game, I think, to move the football here. But they have to keep them honest every once in a while, and that's why we'll see a run.
Cable loses 3. 2nd and 13 for the Eagles. All 5 receivers split wide. They go to the short man, and he's brought down immediately. That's Levi Richards with his first catch of the ball game. Brought down immediately by Frank Tenuto, who's headed to Arizona State on a baseball scholarship. And there you get a look at the play calling for Newton. 67% passing, 33% running.
Levi Richards, who just caught that ball, they want to get the ball into his hands. He's very quick, and he's a guy that can make big plays for him.
3rd and 9 as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Flag down. And the pass is short. Flag on the play, as we mentioned.
I think that's going to be illegal. Newton.
We have 2 penalties on the play. We have holding on the offense, and we have an illegal shift on the offense.
Illegal shift and holding. Double trouble.
Looks like, I assume they'll take the holding here, which is a 10-yard penalty versus the 5. Or they may even decline it and put him in a 4th down situation.
There you get a look at Bob Horst with the hood, his 22nd season at Newton. 136 and 80, his 25th season overall after a 3-year stint at Florida. 146 and 97 in his career. 3rd and 25.
Now you're playing field position. Probably if you're Coach Horst here, you don't need to get it all here. Odds are not good. You don't want to turn, just get the ball in good position to punt and put him back down near their end zone.
3 receivers left for Newton. He goes to the right side instead. He was rushed. Had to rush it. Jenkins was right there in his face.
Well, they're certainly getting pressure on Semple with 3. Kyle Jenkins has got pressure. You've seen him in the backfield a couple of times, and they have to find a way to block those 3 down linemen and give Semple time, or they're going to have a long night.
Mike Tabor was in there also for Driscoll. They've got depth like you wouldn't believe. Levi Ashcraft back to punt. High punt to the far side, bounces out at the 25-yard line. Make it the 26. Punt of just 18, and that was with the wind at his back. He popped that one up. However, his 62-yard punt on the last punt breaks a 4A state championship game record.
Well, Newton needs to take advantage of some of those opportunities. They did a great job and got the football on an interception. They need to get points on the board because you know Driscoll is not going to be sleeping for too long.
PD under center with 4:40 to go here in the first quarter. The give is to Nudo. He busted one for 50. They got called back earlier, and that's a gain of about 5 for Justin Nudo.
Good pursuit by the Newton defense and a nice hit. Here's the toss, or here's a give to Nudo on the right side. He's covering up. He gets to the outside. And then we have some nice hitting right there. Good job from the secondary coming up and delivering a blow.
Newton's defense only allows 11 points per game. About half of those came in the 4th quarter when the games were decided. Here's Tranchitella out across the 35 and close to a Highlanders first down.
That was a good look at Tranchitella. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He's real quick. He hits the hole hard, and he got hit about 4 yards before he went down. He carried the defender for 4 yards to get that first down. He's a good inside runner. He's strong inside, but he also has some breakaway speed.
He's an all-stater, John Tranchitella, senior running back. 1st and 10 now from the 37 for Driscoll. Here's the handoff to Nudo, met at the line of scrimmage and brought down. That's Alex Cable again. He's everywhere. He picked off a pass, and now he makes a big stick there for no gain.
Here's the give here on the replay. You'll see the ball right here to Nudo. He meets Cable right in the hole. Good help from Brian Bierman. Excellent job. No gain on the play. The defense, the longer they go here, the more confidence they're going to get, and that's a good sign for Newton.
2nd and 10. Redpath in motion. PD to throw. Rolling right. has a man. It's Transitella. He's out to the 45, 50, 45, 40. He's on his way. Richards is about the only guy that can stop him. And Levi Richards brings him down at the 25-yard line.
Great throw by Petey here. He's on a little half roll. Transitella goes out and hooks up at about 12. Comes back to the football, which is a great job by the wide receiver to come back. And then Transitella is off to the races. You'll see the block downfield. And Levi Richards has a touchdown saving tackle there. But excellent execution, good run after the catch from Transitella. You kind of see his explosiveness.
39 yards on the pickup. Transitella 643 yards receiving this season. Averages 17 yards a catch. And that's the fourth first down for Driscoll already in this ball game. Here's the handoff to Nudo. Good blocking, plenty of room to run. Down inside the 15-yard line and close to another Highlander first down.
Nice play here. You'll see the give off of the shotgun. You see in the side of your screen there, the flanker back came in to lead that play. Another good tackle there, save a bigger gain, but a nice execution. Good job up front by the Driscoll offensive line for a 9-yard gain. Or it's going to be close. They're measuring for a first down here.
The officials come out to take a look at it. Mike Berzawa says Justin Nudo is our workhorse. Physical between the tackles and speed outside, and he ran very hard on that play. Did he get the first down?
Looks like he's just short.
Missed it by that much, in the words of the late Maxwell Smart. So it'll be 2nd and inches for Driscoll Catholic. Here's the give to Transitella. He's got the first down and more down to the 9-yard line. That'll set up 1st and goal after a gain of 6.
And this is what Driscoll would like to do tonight, is they'd like to just get 6- and 7-yard gains, use that offensive line, that weight advantage. And here you see the offset eye. You see Nudo there on the right-hand side. He's going to lead through for Transitella. He led through, and Transitella makes a nice little cut, gets a 7-yard gain.
First and goal for Driscoll from the 9-yard line. Wishbone look here. Give is to Nudo. He's still driving those legs down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line.
Here's the wishbone look. Again, 2 lead blockers coming through. Nice block there by Transitella. That's number 11 on the play. Who's that? Number 11 is a great block. And did it open the hole there for Nudo to get down to the 3-yard or to the 6-yard line.
Oh, I thought he was down inside the 5, wasn't he?
Yeah, they moved him back.
That was an odd spot. It's 2nd and goal from the 6. Again, the wishbone. This time the give is to Transitella. He sidesteps, runs sideways, and gets down to the 1-yard line. Number 11, Shane Franken.
Yeah, that's Franken. He's a 3-year starter. He plays inside linebacker as well. Yeah. And they bring him in on the wishbone formation to block. Big play here for Newton. They'd love to hold him here to a field goal.
3rd and goal from the 2. Give is to Transitella. Bounces it outside, and he's in for the score. John Transitella, his 10th rushing touchdown of the season, gets Driscoll Catholic on the board first.
Nothing fancy here, just turn and give the Transitella. He sees the opening of the outside, just uses his speed to get outside in for 6. Nice drive by Driscoll. See, there's no hole in the middle. Just slides outside, 6 points.
And it'll be Ryan Feldy on for the extra point. He's 48 for 57 this year, kicking the extra points. 5'9" junior. Good snap, good hold, kick, beautiful. 7-0 Driscoll. After an impressive drive and the big run, a John Transitella 39-yard gain. as the Highlanders go on top 7-0 with 31 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Back with more action on the IHSA TV network. Lights are on and somebody's home here at Memorial Stadium. 7-0 Driscoll leading Newton here in our 4A state championship game. 31 seconds to go in the first quarter. Lee Hall, Greg Bradshaw bringing you the call. Mike Cleff is on the sidelines. And Driscoll will now kick off. Ryan Feldy to kick. And Levi Richards will get it at the 13-yard line. Takes it up the middle. Gets to about the 26, driven all the way back to the 15. Ball loose.
You're kidding me.
And the officials say no. Driscoll said they had it. The official just shook his head. No.
But there really was no, I didn't see a whistle. No one was, nobody was stopping the clock with their hands. I think everybody in the stands, including us, thought that the ball was going to be ruled a fumble. But rightfully they kept the ball with Newton.
It's Newton ball from their own 27 with 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. Semple will go to work in the shotgun. Back to throw, looking deep. And just over the outstretched arms of Levi Richards, the intended receiver on that one.
Smart play. They've got the win for another 17 seconds, and they figured they'd take a chance to go deep, and just a little bit too long for Richards, who's a speedster. He's a track star and part of that 4x100 team that won the state last year.
9-play scoring drive for the Highlanders, 74 yards, took 409, and Francitella capped it off with the 2-yard run. He had a 39-yard gain in that drive. Semple now on 2nd and 10. He'll toss up another one. Mendenhall, the intended receiver this time, but Redpath was right there, and Mendenhall had to give Redpath a little shove, but I think it was already over his hands by the time Mendenhall got there.
Here's a replay. He just looks to go deep there again. They're going to try. They got the win for another couple more seconds, and they give it a try deep, and actually they're fortunate because that ball was really Redpath's ball to get. Redpath, another physical. Him and Tranchitella are the two cornerbacks. Both are 6'2". Tranchitella's 200, Redpath 195 pounds. They're big and physical, but they both can run.
3rd and 10 now, after 2 straight incompletions for the Eagles. Semple tries the left side this time. Is tipped, and almost another completion. The tip drill in order here tonight. I guess that was the first game, wasn't it? We had the tip drill.
No, we had that in the first series here.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. I was second guessing myself.
Yeah, they again continue to get pressure on the quarterback with only 3, bringing 3 with Kyle Jenkins and company, and they can continue to do that. They're going to have plenty of defensive backs back there to cover the pass.
Ashcraft to punt, and it's blocked. Jenkins got a hand on it. It's picked. No, it's still not picked up. It'll be Driscoll Catholic ball at the 11-yard line. Kyle Jenkins blocked the punt. Jenkins, Sun-Times All-Stater.
Excellent effort here, all by himself. This was not a rush. This was just Jenkins putting on pressure on a one-man rush, and he goes through and comes through and runs right over the up back to make the block. His 6'5" frame, reaching out, and a big play for Driscoll. And now giving them 1st and 10 at the end of the quarter on the 11-yard line.
That's where Driscoll Catholic will get the ball when we start our second quarter. 7-0 Driscoll Highlanders leading Newton here in the 4A state championship game. Be back after these local messages. The one that Back at Memorial Stadium, Lee Hall, Greg Bradshaw, Driscoll Catholic with a 7-0 lead and a great opportunity here after a block punt by Kyle Jenkins, the all-state lineman for Driscoll.
Great individual effort there by Jenkins to give them an opportunity to go up by 2 scores early in the game.
That's a direct snap to Tranchitella. And he's out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. I didn't think that was Petey.
It's like the old single wing. Put your running back there and make a couple of fakes and take off.
How about that?
He's a good athlete. They can use him all over the field. We talked about that at the beginning of the game. He's headed to Northern Illinois. Going to be a Husky next year. Congratulations to the Huskies. I got my cousin watching with all his boys. My cousin plays strong safety, Dustin Utchik. Congratulations, MAC West champions. There's your teammate next year. You guys can bust on him when he's playing scout team next year.
Out of the wishbone. Nudo still on his feet, and boy, it looked like they had him, and then he's gone. Touchdown, Driscoll. Justin Nudo from 8 yards out. Again,
nothing special. They just go behind the right side of Driscoll's offensive line. Let's turn and hand it here to number 20, Justin Nudo. He fouls Tranchitella and Franken. Some good blocking. Right here, you think he's going to get stopped. He keeps on chugging in the end zone. Touchdown.
Feldy on for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-0 Driscoll Highlanders. 14-0 our score, 11:49 to go second quarter, back after these local messages. We are back. Ryan Feldy to kick off for Driscoll. A quick strike offense for the Highlanders. They score in the final seconds of the first quarter and score again here in the opening seconds of the second. Levi Richards brings it out to the 10. And not much doing there, and tackled out of bounds. The Newton fans want a flag. He was well out of bounds when he was brought down. 2 plays, 11 yards, 11 seconds. That's pretty efficient. Nudo with the 8-yard run.
Critical drive here for Newton. Driscoll opens up to now a 14-0 lead. And we talked about one of the things that they needed to do and keys of the game was to survive early. They need to put a drive together here. At least move the football, get 3 or 4 first downs to play field position. If they end up going 3 and out or maybe only get 1 first down and out, it's going to be some trouble for them.
Jake Semple will try to get something going here for the Eagles, who trail at 14-0 early in the second quarter. Semple to Levi Richards, and he was on a knee when he caught it at the 18-yard line, gain of 6, and then hit pretty hard.
That's a nice play by Semple, nice call by Coach Horst to miss a real quick hitter, get a 6-yard gain. Negates a little of that pressure. They brought Tranchitella off the corner that time, but the ball was delivered before he could get there. See that time of possession in the first quarter, 8 minutes to 3 minutes. Driscoll really dominating the first quarter.
And that's Newton's game, 5-6 yards at a time. They will run their passing game like most teams would a running game. They don't need to pick up huge amounts of yardage, but only 2 yards on that pickup on the pass to Richards. That's just his second catch of the night.
Again, we talked about it earlier. They bring only 3 on the rush, Driscoll, and they've got 8 men back in coverage, and Semple's having a hard time finding some openings in that zone.
And how do you beat that? How do you go against that?
That's tough. You got to find, your receivers have to find the holes in the defense, and the ball's got to be delivered right on time because there's 8 guys back flying around.
3rd and 2 for Semple and the Eagles from the 20-yard line. Quick hit to Richards, and that'll be a first down for the Newton Eagles.
Nice throw on the slant here to Levi Richards. You see the ball, 3 quick, just a stop and fire on the slant in. And a nice catch by Richards for the first down. It's what they needed to do, move the chains.
Pickup of 8, and after Richards was shut out in the first quarter, he's caught 3 in a row. And the Eagles are moving the ball, and Levi Richards is the #1 target for Jake Semple. They have to get him in the game to have a chance.
Driscoll has a lot of movement on the defensive side.
Here's the handoff, and not much doing there. About the entire Driscoll defense there on that one to stop Alex Cable.
We also talked about Driscoll before the game, mixing it up on defense. You'll see just on the corner of your screen, you're going to see defensive guys moving around. Their linebackers are moving. Their DBs are disguising their coverages, giving them 3 deep look, 2 deep look, a lot of different looks from the Driscoll defense.
2nd and 10. Newton into the wind this quarter. Semple throws it out to Britton. That's Clay Britton, and he's hammered at the 29-yard line.
Just a quick little hitter, trying to get one-on-one out in the flat. Excellent job on one-on-one coverage and making the tackle out there. We're seeing a little of the controlled passing game. They don't throw the ball really that far downfield as we saw last week against Muhammad. They like to control 3, 4, 5, 8-yard passing game for Newton.
They need to get 9 here for a first down. Clay Britton in motion. Semple out of the shotgun. Jenkins on the rush. Semple still behind the line of scrimmage, tosses it up and picked off. Mike Redpath got the tip. He's still on his feet and moving at the 35-yard line where he's brought down. Another tip, another INT. The second time we've seen it tonight. Mike Redpath with the interception for Driscoll.
Yeah, really an ill-advised throw here from Semple. He's forced out of the pocket to the right. There's no one open again. Good coverage. He starts to run. Then he tucks it back. Just tries to pop the pass over the top of the defense. You'll see the tip. Redpath hustling over and makes the catch here. He's just trying to throw the ball over the top. Nudo hits it. Redpath hustling over, catches it, and then he's off to the races.
Cable did a nice job of breaking that up and keeping Nudo from getting the interception, but the ball stayed in the air and Redpath got it, and it's first down and 10 now for Driscoll with a 14-0 lead and the ball at the 35-yard line. Redpath in motion, Petey from the shotgun. Here comes the pressure from the Eagles, and they sack him at the 50-yard line. Petey brought down by Martin and Bierman. Loss of 13, 15.
Nice
Dave
pressure by the
Berkson, our stats guy, with the poor writing. That's a 5.
Here you see, it looks like he's got some time, and out of nowhere, here come the linebackers, Bierman coming in, and also Martin. Great penetration there by those 2 inside linebackers.
2nd and 22. Petey looking downfield and over John Tranchitella, the intended receiver. Incomplete brings up 3rd down.
You get a good look at Petey's arm strength there. He throws that ball to the sidelines with a lot of authority. I actually watched him in warm-ups. He actually threw the ball better into the wind than he did with the wind, which is kind of interesting because the ball was taken off a little bit as he was thrown with the wind, because he's got such a strong arm, he can cut through that wind when he's thrown against it.
Ball sails a little bit on you when you got the wind behind you. Petey now on 3rd and long. More pressure. Tucks it under and he'll run and be way short of the first down as he goes out at the 40-yard line. The official hits the dirt. Petey hits the ground. Tough footing out there.
That wasn't too graceful by that referee. You appreciate what those guys do that are athletes when they fall graceful. That was not a graceful fall.
Well, he had to, what do they call that drill where you dive over each other like the...
Yeah, the monkey drill.
Yeah, that's what he looked like the official was trying to do there, sidestep a guy, and couldn't quite do it. Jenkins will have to punt now on 4th and 14. Gets it away, kicking for the sideline, angling, and touched and dropped, and it's Driscoll ball. They run the wrong way with it, but they've got it. Sinise picked up the fumble.
And they should have let him go because he might have gone the other way. He was going. Look at they're pointing. The coaches are pointing the other way. Here's the play right here. He's angling towards the sidelines.
Who was it for Newton that tried to catch it and then muffed it?
I can't see who that was, but it was picked up and they were actually running the wrong way. I don't know.
Kyle Pittman for Newton was trying to catch it and muffed it.
Referees,
and it is Newton ball, or Driscoll ball rather.
They were a bit confused, I think, the referees down there, but they did give the ball to Driscoll. Unfortunate turnover for Newton here. They can't afford these, and now it's first down on the 17-yard line for Driscoll.
And the odd thing is Jenkins was just trying to kick it to the sideline.
Yeah, to get it out of bounds. That wasn't their normal deep man right there.
The Newton defense being tested again. Oh, and they forced Driscoll into moving. Mike Fennell, they deked him into moving, and he
false start on the offense. Maine's first down.
Is the victim on the false start call.
Third penalty for Driscoll today.
Yeah.
He knew it too. He
well,
knew it.
When a guy's running at you full speed and then he stops at the last second, it's tough not to flinch.
Yep.
5 yards for flinching. 7:19 to go, second quarter. Hand off to Nudo, up the middle. Met there by Bierman, and he's down at about the 20. Pickup of 3, second and 12.
Good defense there by Newton to stop the lead play. Tranchatella comes in motion, tries to lead through on the linebacker, and was met well by Bierman and the rest of the Newton defense.
The keys for the Newton defense coming in tonight, according to Coach Horst, no mental mistakes. Can't blow their assignments. They got to rely on their speed and quickness and gang tackle, no one-arm tackles. Second and 13, Petey looking deep. Into the end zone, touchdown, Tranchatella. Petey 20 yards to John Tranchatella, his 10th touchdown catch of the season.
Nice post corner route by John Tranchatella and a great throw. You won't see Tranchatella here, but just a nice 5-step drop out of the shotgun. Delivers the ball right over Trevor Scott's head to the corner, works the feet, 6 points.
And brings on Ryan Feldy for the point after. Ryan Palish is the holder. The kick is up, and it's good. And it's 21-0 Driscoll with 6:34 to go in the second quarter. Back after this on the IHSA TV network.
Christmas is just around the corner. Looking for a special gift or stocking stuffer? Then check out these 3 great books. Why Mascots Have Tails details how some of the great school nicknames came to be. Taylor Bell's Sweet Charlie, Dyke, Cassie, and Bobby Joe covers Illinois basketball history from the 1940s through the 90s. And Once There Were Giants chronicles the greatest March Madness story, Hebron's run to win the 1952 state basketball title. Check it all out at IHSA.org.
Feldy to kick, Driscoll leading 21-0. Can put him through the end zone. Richards gets at his own 4-yard line. Out to the 20, now out to the 30, and brought down at the 33, loose ball. Apparently he hung on to it. It bounced, and so did he when he hit the turf. 29-yard pickup. There's the scoring drive, just 2 plays. 17 yards, 45 seconds. Petey to Tranchatella. And you talked about Newton hanging in there, and they did for most of the first quarter, but boy, Driscoll has struck quickly in the second.
The block punt and a turnover on interception, things change fast when you do those types of things, and Driscoll's going to take advantage of their good football team. You can't do that against a team like Driscoll.
Semple in the shotgun from his own 33. Tries the quick hit to Richards, and it's incomplete.
Newton needs a big play. They got to have somebody make a play for them. They've got to have someone maybe catch a short pass, make somebody miss, and get some yards here because they need some life. They need to get on the board to stay in this football game. They've got to put some points on the board on this drive or before we go in to halftime, just to have a little bit of momentum and know that they can score on.
Jake Semple on 2nd and 10 now. Rolling right. Looks for a man, has Richards, and he can't hang on. And you've got to catch those when you have an open spot.
Here's a little bunch formation they had on the right side. He looks downfield, then comes back off to Richards. Nice throw right in the gut. Just unfortunately can't hold on. Should have caught that, and I know he knows it.
986 yards receiving for Levi Richards coming in.
And he's their big play guy. That's the guy they want to have the football because he's got the speed that can really make something happen. Here's that same formation, bunch right here. You see those 3 receivers there at the bottom of the formation. Now they should roll right, and they'll go out for a pattern, and he'll try to find one of those receivers.
3rd and 10. Here comes Jenkins. And the pass is complete to Levi Richards.
Very similar play that they ran the time before. He's actually looking back here to his left. You see he kind of wants to come left. He can't see anything, and he goes back to Richards here on the right. And really short gain there. Richards is getting hit a little bit. These defensive backs from Driscoll, you can see how they're pretty physical. As we mentioned earlier, they're big. And he's already had a few good hits taken on him already this evening. Richards is going to be sore tomorrow.
Ashcraft to punt, Redpath back for the Highlanders. Catches it at the 41.
Look out.
Breaks to the right. And knocked out of bounds there. A nice open field tackle for Newton by number 23, who's not on the roster.
There you get a good look at Redpath. He got shaken up a little bit with that tackle.
24-yard punt, return of 26.
But Mike Redpath is a great athlete. He doesn't get the ball as much as Tranchatella or Nudo, but he's very dangerous when he gets it. He had some really big receptions in the Richmond-Burton game. He broke away for a real long touchdown, really put the game away against Richmond-Burton. He's a great athlete, just another one of the weapons that Driscoll has.
All-conference quarterback Phil Petey under center. Hands it off to Nudo. And he's met at the 30-yard line by Cable.
Cable's played a pretty good first half. He's been in a lot of tackles. He had that interception early. But unfortunately, they haven't been able to make anything happen on the offensive side of the ball.
66 rushing yards for Driscoll, Greg, 3 for Newton.
Yeah, but we wouldn't expect Newton to have a lot of rushing yardage, but really when you look at their passing yardage, only 52 yards passing. Right now Driscoll has 62 actually, and you would think that a passing team like Newton would have more than 52 yards. They've only got a total of 49 yards offense for the game.
2nd and 7, Petey runs a little option, keeps it himself at the 20, 15, down at the 10, and ridden out of bounds at the 9-yard line by Levi Richards after a gain of 21.
Just a good example of the versatility of this team. Now they run a little option. You've seen the shotgun. You've seen the wishbone. Here they run option. Petey tucks it and shows a little bit of his speed, getting out there to the 9-yard line. Again, a lot of versatility, a lot of different formations. They have so much experience, for these guys. Tranchatella and Nudo and Franken. These guys have been playing on this level, playing on the varsity level for 3 years. They just have opportunity to put so many different looks into their offense.
1st and goal from the 8. Petey keeps it again. He's down inside the 5 to about the 4. Phil Petey took over the team last year. They were 7-0. He was a sophomore. Senior quarterback was benched. He took over the team. The Highlanders had a 27-game win streak. Petey started 0-2, then led the Highlanders to 5 straight wins and the title in 04 in Class 3A. Counting this season, 18 straight wins after those 2 losses as a sophomore. He's done an outstanding job for Driscoll and has them on the doorstep here, 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Hands it off to Redpath and walks in for the touchdown. Mike Redpath, the Suburban Catholic Conference Player of the Year, with the 4-yard touchdown score.
Out of the shotgun, they just hand it to Redpath, and really right now I think you're seeing a little bit of demoralized defense from Newton. They're realizing they're up against a pretty formidable foe today in the Highlanders.
They are making it look easy here. Ryan Feldy, the junior, on for the point after. They had a great kicker, Mike Albreski, who could boot some long field goals to Driscoll Catholic, and Feldy has taken over.
There's the play out of the shotgun, hand to Redpath, good cut. You can see big, 6'2", 195. He's got just great moves. Got great athletic ability, and it gets into the end zone, making it 28-0 Driscoll. Look at that, the future. There's the future
of Driscoll
there it
Catholic
is.
Football right there.
There it is. They start them young.
Yeah, someday, guys, if you keep it up, maybe they'll give you a jersey and you won't have to paint your body.
I'll tell you what, I'm pretty impressed. Those young guys, they don't have much on. Is that really that paint on their body? Those guys all have their shirts off.
Yeah, that's
I'll
paint.
tell you
That's
what.
body paint.
I'll tell you what, that's some pretty tough kids right there. Or pretty dumb, one of the
He'll
two.
be going to the prompt care on Monday. 28-0, an impressive performance here for Driscoll. It was scoreless till very late in the first, and then the Highlanders kicked it into high gear. They scored 4 touchdowns in the first 9 minutes in their playoff opener against Harvard. It had 218 yards of rushing in the first half of that ball game, so they can do it in a hurry. Levi Richards back to take another kickoff. Line drive, Richards takes it at his own 7. Now races across the field and is brought down at the 24. Pickup of 17 for Levi Richards.
Well, you'd like to see Newton get something going here on offense just before half, just so they've got some things to build on going into the locker room. It's been a tough first half for Jake Semple. He really hasn't had a lot of time, and when he has, he's made some ill-advised throws, I think. He's really had a tough time because they've only rushed 3, and he's got 8 men to deal with in the defensive backfield.
Another quick scoring drive for the Highlanders. Minute 37, Redpath a 3-yard run. Tranchitella has 2 touchdowns. Nudo has a touchdown. Redpath has a touchdown. They spread the wealth. 3:33 to go here. Jenkins tough around that right side for Driscoll. He seems to get in the backfield quite often.
Yeah, he's real strong. He can power rush. He's also quick. He can get around on kind of a swim, but he's been in the backfield a lot, putting a lot of pressure on Semple today.
He went up and spoke to one of the officials, and I think was trying to make the point that he's being held, and that's why he's not getting to the quarterback. 2nd and 10 now, 3:28 to go in the first half. Newton trying to get something going here. Here they come. You better get rid of it. He does at the last second and throws it out of bounds as he's hit. Jenkins was on the move, chasing him.
I feel for Jake Semple. There's absolutely nobody open. They brought 2 guys off the corner off the left side that time. He rolled to the right, and there was just no one open. There were 3 receivers and nobody to throw the ball to.
Look at that. 29 plays, 180 yards, 21 plays, just 49 yards for the Eagles.
Yeah, they've only had 2 first downs really the whole half, Newton. So It's really been a tough first half on the offensive side and defensive side of the ball for Newton.
3rd and 10. Here comes Jenkins again. Semple gets it away. This is Mendenhall. Check it, it's Cable, and he's out to the 39-yard line, pick up a 14. He gets up and wants his crowd to get into this game.
Nice little dump pass here. He makes one man miss, and then he gets into the backfield, turns on some speed, really had an opportunity to break off of that last tackle and gets the first down. Cable, again, we talked about him. He's come to play today. He's made some great plays on defense, and there he stepped up and got the first down for the Newton offense.
And it seems like that's the kind of play, if you've got 8 guys playing deep, that's the kind of thing you want to run. You want to throw those quick little hits in the flat, and maybe you'll get something. Let's see how that works. 1st and 10 now. And the pass to Richards dropped. A lot of traffic out there, but you got to catch those.
Yeah, he may go the distance on that play right there on the slant end. The free safety came flying up to make the big hit and missed. If Richards catches that ball, he may be off to the races for 6 points. But he's been hit a lot. I'm telling you, they've been hammering Richards. Those big DBs, been putting a helmet on him. I think right now he's a little sore, and he might be a little shy back there catching that ball.
2nd and 10, 2:50 to go in the second quarter. Cable is the back standing next to Semple in the shotgun. Looking deep for Richards. He's open and hangs onto it this time at the 40-yard line and gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Just a simple fade route up the sideline. Here you see a simple quick look to the left, and he comes back to the right, up the sidelines. He's in between the safety and the corner. And a nice catch, nice throw by a Semple and a grab by Richards to give him a first down.
Pickup of 20. So Newton getting a little something going here in the closing minutes of the first half. From the 41, 1st down and 10 Eagles. The Highlanders send 4 that time. The pass is to Cable, and he gets maybe 3.
Nice tackle by Mike Fabrizi right there, one-on-one. Last time he missed a tackle on Cable. He was not going to do it this time, and he brings Cable down for a short 3-yard gain. That's the kind of thing that they need to do. Now they're bringing some people. They brought a linebacker on that time. They dumped it, made actually a good play. Had one-on-one, and Fabrizi was up to the challenge. Now they got a bunch out here to the left. 4 receivers all bunched up together. You see at the top of your screen there.
Oh, my goodness. Ryan Britton hammered right after he caught it by Frank Tenuto.
They tried running a quick screen out there, and it looks like they'd scouted that play and knew. When they go bunched left, here he comes right in the screen here, right smack between the numbers. Good form. That's the way to play defensive back. Right into your living room.
If he makes contact like that when he plays baseball at Arizona State, he's going to be in the big leagues someday. 4-year starter as a third baseman for the Driscoll baseball team. 1:18 to go now, 3rd and 10. Semple's pass picked off. And Franken takes it out near midfield after the interception. 2nd interception for Jake Semple. 24 yards after the pickoff by Shane Franken, the Defensive Player of the Year in the SCC.
The ball just flutters up there for Franken. It's kind of just waiting for it to come down, almost like catching a punt. And then he makes a nice return. Semple's a little angry, obviously, after throwing the pick, and he goes over there. It could have been actually a late hit, but a nice play by Franken on the interception. It's just tough. Jake Semple's a little frustrated. There was pressure on him again that time, and they were all over him as he was throwing.
3rd turnover for Newton, and just when it looked like they were getting something going, They turned the ball over with 1:05 to go, and there was a flag.
It looks like they might have called a late hit on Semple.
It was a late flag. Of course, the hit was late, so that would explain why the flag was late. 1st and 10 for Driscoll from the 36-yard line.
They are not satisfied. That's
No.
this Driscoll football. They will be going to get in the end zone here. Don't be surprised. They're up 28-0, but they'll want more.
Petey backpedals to midfield, throws it deep to Tranchitella, wide open, and 36 yards on the touchdown strike from Petey to Tranchitella, and it's 34-0.
They ran that same route that he scored on earlier, just a little post corner route. See Petey taking the nice drop. Good form, delivers the ball right on the money. No one around him within 8-9 yards. Tranchitella walks in the end zone. Good execution, good protection, good route, good throw.
Second touchdown pass for Phil Petey. 4 completions, 2 of them for touchdowns. Ryan Feldy on for his 5th extra point. He's perfect to this point in the ball game. Palish the hold, kick is up and good, and it's 35-0 Driscoll leading Newton here in the 4A state championship. The Highlanders making a statement in this ball game.
Yeah, they can score so fast. I mean, we saw that first quarter really, Newton had some breaks and was stayed close. They were down 7-0, and then we had the blocked punt. Then we had interception, and they scored. You know, their drives. I don't know. We'll get that at halftime, but their scoring drives were 17 seconds. You know,
Yes.
59 seconds, a minute 17. They score so quickly because they have so many weapons on offense.
Determined, respected, integrity, sportsmanship, courageous, outstanding. I couldn't read them all. 7 seconds. That was a James Bond drive, 007.
There it is.
And Newton is shaken and stirred, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
to
I
say.
think so. And you know, we were hoping that Newton's offense could move the football on the defense, but unfortunately they've been able to pressure Semple with just 3. We've talked about it all night, and makes it awfully tough to throw into that.
They got a little something going, and then, you know, just at the time when it looked like they were getting it going, Semple just got picked off again and throwing into the wind.
Yep.
So there he is again, Ryan Feldy, another kickoff. And that one will sail into the end zone and be a touchback for Newton with 58 seconds to go in the first half. Been all Highlanders in this ball game. Tranchitella 2 touchdowns receiving, 1 rushing. Nudo a touchdown, Redpath a touchdown, and Coach Horst is left to pace the sideline and look for answers right now, and they're tough to find against this team. Nobody's found one yet. 13-0, the Highlanders coming into this one, and there you see the career numbers for Bob Horst, longtime coach at Newton. 58 seconds to go. Handoff is to Cable, and he gets about 3 before he's met by a host of Driscoll tacklers.
I think right now, they're just going to go into the locker room and regroup, come back out here and see what they can do. Really, I think offensively, they did a few good things at the end of the first half here. They had a couple drops. Cable had a couple of nice catches and runs, and they had some people open on the slants that really have to execute. They can't afford drop passes. They've got to really play their A game if they're going to move the football.
And on the other side of it, you saw Mike Brazawa on the other sideline, and he has to love what he's seen here in the first half. His first year as head coach, and he's led this Driscoll team back to state for the 5th straight year, looking for their 5th straight championship. As time ticks down here in the first half, and the Driscoll Highlanders are halfway to state championship football history. No team has won 5 straight. The Highlanders well on their way to becoming the first team to do just that here tonight as they lead Newton 35-0 at the half.
Yeah, it's been all Driscoll, and we saw Newton have a few breaks early. They weren't able to capitalize. They actually had a interception, return it down to the 30, Driscoll's 30, and could not punch the ball in, and ever since then it's been all Driscoll.
It's Mike and Mike Clef, Mike Brzawa. Let's go downstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Lee. Thank you, Greg, and we are joined by Mike Brzawa, the Driscoll Catholic head coach. And Mike, you have got to be one pleased head coach.
Oh, no doubt about it. You know, we came out early on, we were a little excited, and we struggled a little bit. We were fighting that wind in the first quarter, but then we started to get a little bit of momentum, and our boys are playing with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. We're playing Driscoll Catholic football right now.
I think the one thing up for debate right now, Mike, is after the early parts of the game, what's playing better, your offense or defense? They both did great.
Well, no, our defense has been solid for us all season long, and they definitely did a great job setting the tone early, some nice physical hits, and able to play our style, and so defense has been playing a great job too.
Mike, I know it's inside the locker room. You don't have to divulge details, but what are you going to tell your kids inside the locker room if you care to share it?
Well, you know what? They've got a great offense, and Coach Orst does a great job, so we know they're very dangerous and they can come back. So we want to be able to come out in the third quarter and be able to finish them off, and that's going to be our mindset, and then we'll take it from there.
All right, Mike, I'll let you go get warm. Good luck second half.
Thank you.
All right. Mike Brzawa, the Driscoll Catholic head coach, his team up 35-0, and Lee and Greg, as you just heard, he is happy with a lot of phases of his team, and understandably so. They just look terrific in all aspects of the game. So we have 24 minutes left of football here, and Driscoll Catholic in great position to win their 5th state title in a row. Let's send it back up to the booth to Lee and Greg. Guys?
All right, Mike, thanks a lot, and sign of a good coach. Respect your opponent and don't give up. Don't quit on even with a 35-0 lead. And that is our score here at the break, here at halftime. 35-0, Driscoll leading Newton. And we will be back in a minute after these local messages.
Marching Eagles, you may take the field for your halftime show.
We are at halftime of the Class 4A state championship game where the Driscoll Catholic Highlanders lead the Newton Eagles 35-0. That takes nothing away from the season Newton has had. They've been great this season, great players, great cheerleaders, and these are the Eagle cheerleaders right here. And I'll tell you what, let's hear from them. We're going to have them do a cheer right now.
Set. We're the Eagles of NCHS, accepting the challenge, striving for success. We're coming your way. We'll put you to the test. ADCS, we wish you the best. Yes. 2, 3.
All right, those are the Newton Eagle cheerleaders, and of course the Eagle mascot over there. We've been talking about the mascots a lot during the telecast today, and joining me live is Veronica, one of the Newton cheerleaders. And Veronica, no matter what's happening tonight in this game, what a run it's been for this team, and just to cheer on a team like this, how awesome is it?
It's really cool. This is the first year that Newton has ever made it this far, so it's really exciting. And win or lose, the boys are still going to be champions in our eyes because they've done so good this year.
You know, and that's a great attitude to take. And this season for Newton has been more than football. I mean, I'm sure I've been in that town a lot of times, and I'm sure everywhere there are signs up, there's soapings up in a good way and everything. And just how much have people gotten into it?
The town is going crazy. You can go through there, and lots of stores have closed for the night just so everyone can come. And every window's painted, and our town has been really good and supportive of our team this year.
All right, second half now. You know the guys on this team, they're going to play hard no matter what, aren't they? They're great guys, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And they work really well together, and they'll just do their best.
All right. Veronica, are you a senior?
Yes.
And have you been a cheerleader all 4 years?
Yes, I have.
What's the best part about being a Newton cheerleader?
Well, basically just being part of our good team because they work so well together, and it helps us girls to just want to cheer for an awesome team.
All right, Veronica, thank you very much. Thanks to all the Newton Eagle cheerleaders and the Newton Eagle mascot, and best of luck in the second half, and congrats on a tremendous season, to say the least. Now we're going to float over here to the Driscoll Catholic cheerleaders, and they are cheering on a team that looks like they're going to win their 5th straight state championship in a row. And they all have their headbands on to stay warm. Cheer, cheer, cheer! I love it. So, and your name, is it KK?
Yeah.
All right, KK, are you? What year are you?
I'm a senior.
All right. Well, before we talk to you a little bit more, KK, let's have the Highlander cheerleaders do a cheer for us.
We're Driscoll. We're proud. Black and gold. Let's shout it out. We're Driscoll.
KK, you've been a cheerleader all 4 years?
Yes, I have.
So you are cheering on for all 4 of your years. Probable, in fact, tonight, probable, and the previous 3 year state titles. That's something that'll last a lifetime worth of memories, won't it?
Yes, it will.
Oh, boy. And the thing is, by the way, what's the Highlander mascot like? He's got to be cold. He's got no socks on.
I know, he's freezing. We gave him gloves because he didn't want ours, but we said you're going to freeze, so we gave him our gloves.
And have you noticed a lot of your fans with the painting and the no shirts on? You see the one guy with the red skin?
Yeah, they do it every single game, every playoff game. They don't wear shirts, and they paint numbers on the senior numbers.
All right. Now, has anyone here been actually here to watch all 5 state titles?
Oh, no, not all 5.
Not all 5. All 4. Great. Okay. Well, hey, great going. Enjoy the second half and hold on to that lead.
Thank you very much.
All right. The Driscoll Catholic cheerleaders, their Highlanders, are leading 35-0 over the Newton Eagles at halftime of the 4A state championship game. We'll be back with more right after this local break. All right, welcome back to Memorial Stadium. We're at halftime of the 4A state championship game. Driscoll Catholic leading Newton 35-0. And now joining us is Ed Stanley, and we appreciate Ed braving the cold elements here to talk about recruiting of officials. And Ed, this is something, we love high school sports. We need high school officials, don't we?
We definitely need them. You name the sport, we need them. We can't seem to keep up. They build schools as fast as we can recruit officials and add more levels, and so we're just like running in place trying to keep up with the demand.
Okay, Ed, you need officials in all sports. If people want to officiate, what do they need to do?
Well, right now you can come up to the display booth that we have here at Memorial Stadium. We have applications for the IHSA licensing applications. Take one, fill it out, send your money into the state, and they'll take care of it. Otherwise, you can go on to the Illinois High School Association website, www.ihsa.org, and poke around and you'll find a link that takes you off to how to become an official.
All right, Ed, we're real short on time, but that booth is also going to be here tomorrow, correct?
It certainly will, and we'll be more than happy to take care of anybody that's interested.
All right, Ed Stanley, thanks for talking to us, and good luck with getting some quality officials, excuse me, here in the next few months.
We're going to try.
All right. Excuse me, they're starting to cough there. Hope I'm not catching a cold. All right, we're at halftime of the Class 4A state championship game. Driscoll Catholic leading Newton by a score of 35-0. We'll be back with more heading into the second half right after this short break.
We're back at halftime. Driscoll Catholic, the 35-0 lead over Newton. Lee Hall, Greg Bradshaw here at Memorial Stadium. And Greg, you've been a quarterback, you've run offenses, you've won state championships. Still, this is something to see here tonight.
Great offense. They have executed well. They had a little trouble early. They had some penalty problems, but after they got on track, we've seen them run the football. We've seen them throw the football, executing well on offense, and then just defensively, they're playing great football too. It's a complete team, and we were worried about this coming in, and we thought we had a little glimpse of hope early. Newton made a nice turnover, had some field position, but couldn't take advantage, and Driscoll's really turned up the heat.
Let's take a look at those first half numbers, and they will be just as dominant as the scoreboard. Driscoll up in first downs 9-4, rushing yards. We expected Newton not to have many rushing yards, but passing yards, Driscoll is throwing the ball as well as or better than Newton, and those 3 turnovers didn't help any. Either time of possession, pretty equal, but that's deceptive because Driscoll has scored.
Right.
I mean, their last scoring drive took 7 seconds, so that tells you a little bit about that. The rushing yards, again, 23 rushes for 118 yards, 5 rushes, and Newton's only managed 3 yards there. 4 for 7, 2 of those for touchdowns for Phil Petey, so pretty efficient right there. 1 of 4 on third down, but they haven't had to go to third down, and nobody's converted a fourth down as yet. So let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. And Newton survived until late in the first quarter, and then it's Tranchatella getting them on the board.
Yeah, that capped about a 60-yard drive that really got them untracked. And then here you're going to see Nudo behind 2 of his running backs blocking. He makes a nice cut here, and then he uses just his strength to break through and get in the end zone for an 8-yard touchdown. And this was just the beginning. That's after a Jenkins blocked punt. Here's the give to Redpath, and Redpath just makes a cut. You can see there's nobody really in the hole. He walks in and really just domination both up front by that offensive line and in a defensive line. They rushed 3 people and got pressure on Jake Semple. When you do that, you're going to have trouble. And really just seen a great offensive and defensive game from Driscoll in the first half.
And you throw in a couple of Petey to Tranchitella touchdown passes, and you have 35-0 here at the break as Driscoll tries to become the first team in state history to win 5 straight state championships. We'll be back with the second half action and watch Driscoll as they try to make history here tonight. Back after these local messages. Don't go away.
All right, welcome back to Memorial Stadium. We are just about ready to start the second half of the Class 4A state championship game between the Highlanders of Driscoll Catholic and the Eagles of Newton. And gracious enough to join us live, head coach Bob Horst. And first of all, Bob, what did you tell your team at halftime?
Well, we had to regroup. You know, it played a good first quarter. You know, that's the worst second quarter that we played all year long. And you can't do that. You can't give a team like Driscoll great field position and do the things we did in the second quarter. You know, we just got, we're here, let's play some ball second half. So we're just going to try to regroup, try to play some better football second half, and hopefully put some points on the board.
And it's one of those things, Bob, putting points on the board. Obviously, you want to do that quickly here.
Exactly, very quickly. If we don't, then the game's going to get out of hand. So we just got to go back to fundamental football like we're capable of playing. And, I wasn't happy at all the second quarter.
Is it something that going into this game, what happened in the second quarter, is it something that completely took you by surprise by what happened with your team?
Yes, it did. We haven't done those things. We haven't had block punts. You can't give good football teams great field position. We haven't done that all year. Usually it's us getting the great field position. So now the tide has turned, and we just got to change it around second half.
All right. Thanks for talking to us, Bob. Good luck second half.
Thank you.
All right. That's Newton head coach Bob Horst. And by the way, Lee, before I send it back to you guys upstairs, we talked off the air earlier. Tim Rackey, the former Driscoll Catholic coach, he is not here tonight, but one of his assistants at Nazareth, who used to be an assistant at Driscoll Catholic, is here. So he is very much into the game, and he said it's weird watching it, not being able to coach the Highlanders. So once again, Tim Rackey, who had been the coach here the last 4 seasons for the Highlanders, is not in attendance tonight. All right, that's where we stand at halftime. Let's send it back upstairs to Lee and Greg.
All right, Mike, thanks a lot. Well, I'm sure Tim Rackey had mixed emotions and maybe didn't want to take away from Mike Brazawa here tonight in his moment of glory. And I love what Coach Horst said. Hey, we're here. Let's go play some ball,
That's right.
That's what football players do. That's right. Great football coming your way tomorrow here on the IHSA TV network. Hope you'll join us. Rock Island Alleman, who almost beat Driscoll earlier this year in the season opener for both teams, taking on Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin in our first game at 10 a.m., followed by John Durgo and Morris, the Redskins, taking on Normal Community, Hud Venerable's Ironmen coming to town. Chicago Mount Carmel taking on Prospect in our 7A state championship, followed by Lincoln Way East against Maine South at 7 o'clock in 8A. And you can join us again right here on the IHSA TV network for those games. We are just about ready to kick off half number 2 here in 4A as Driscoll goes for state championship and state history.
Yeah, it looks like they're on their way. And it's been a very impressive first half. And just to start to think about these seniors that have been a part of this program every year since they've been there. They've been in this football game and have won. It's just a great tradition that they have there. And think of a guy like Petey here as a junior. Next year he's coming back. You never know. I mean, they just seem to reload at Driscoll. A lot of these guys we'll be seeing here in the second half, I'm sure, are underclassmen that are dreaming that they're going to be able to come back and lead this team next year. But it has been an impressive first half.
Feldy will kick off. Levi Richards is the deep man for Newton, and he didn't get all of that one. And out to about the 30-yard line is Trevor Scott with that kickoff return of 15.
Well, we'll see if they made any adjustments here at halftime and how they're going to attack this 8-man back defense. They do need to just protect. They need to get these 5 offensive linemen, need to keep these 3 defensive linemen out and give Semple some time to find those receivers, find the holes in this defense.
Semple from his own 30. Has a man, it's Clay Britton, couldn't hang on. And it is picked off. David Schwab with the interception on another tipped ball. And it's Driscoll ball at the 45-yard line.
Actually, a nice throw here by Semple. It's a small window, but he delivers the ball right in the money, in his hands, dropped because of the hit, it looks like, but really was a catchable ball. He's got to come down with that. When he doesn't, the ball's tipped up, and great pursuing defense. Everybody's getting there, and unfortunate turnover, but not surprising. It's the way they fly around. They get to the football, and here we go again on the other end.
And the Driscoll keys on defense that you gave us: physical domination, mix it up on D, make them earn it. A+ so far. PD to his right has Redpath. Check that. That is Fantano. And it's a pickup of 10. Check that, 12. Dominic Fantano with the catch.
This is the Driscoll offense. They're not conservative. They'll continue to throw the ball. They like to run, like we said earlier, they like to throw those timing routes to the outside. So don't be surprised if you see PD throw the ball here in the second half.
And we go to a running clock if Driscoll scores a touchdown here. PD, center fielder on the baseball team, and what an arm he has. Pitches to Nudo around left end. And Newton does a nice job of stringing it out that time. Adam Schaefer there for the stop for the Eagles. Coming into this game, the Newton defense, this is just how good they've been and how good Driscoll is, quite frankly. Newton had allowed, the first string defense had allowed just one touchdown in the postseason coming into this ball game. So that tells you a little bit about Newton, and it tells you a lot about Driscoll as well.
Yeah, Driscoll, again, with their versatility and their physical play up front, it's a little bit, I think, a different caliber of offense that they may have seen even in their first 4 games of the playoffs.
Flag is down. Tranchitella runs around right side. He gone! But it's coming back.
This is kind of how we started the first half.
He had a 50-yarder, didn't he? Yeah.
That was Nudo, actually. Nudo ran the first play from scrimmage, 50 yards, but they brought it back.
Illegal
shift. That was Tranchitella, wasn't it?
On the offense.
This one was Tranchitella, yes.
Yeah. I've been waiting to use the Hawk Harrelson line all day, too. I finally get to use it.
You can even get to use it again, because on a penalty, that doesn't count. It's a do-over, so you can do that over.
Oh, I can do over that again, too.
Yeah, if you want to use it, you can use it again.
I saw the flag, and I should have held on to it.
He coming back, you could have said. Illegal shift for Driscoll. You see the penalties. They've been actually 2 critical penalties for Driscoll, although you wouldn't. It's not that big a deal here with the score, 35-0, but 2 of them have brought back touchdowns.
The Highlanders have won 24 straight playoff games coming into tonight. Looking at number 25 here. Petey rolls right, throws for Fantano again, and it's off his fingertips, incomplete.
Got another flag down here again.
I was going to say where that flag was dropped looked like the area for holding, and it is.
We'll just move back another 10 yards. Don't be surprised if we see Tranchitella run that post corner again, see if they made any adjustments, because that play's been wide open. When they run out here, they bring 3 wide receivers out here to the left, and they like to run that play.
Holding on the offense.
One of the things Mike Brazawa was concerned about coming in was staying away from 2nd and long. He's got himself a doozy here, 2nd and 32.
Well, they're lining Tranchitella up here in the backfield, so he's not going to run that post corner.
Tranchitella in motion. The throw is complete to Nudo. Out to the 45 as the Eagles try to wrestle it away from him. And Nudo hangs on. Or did he take it back after it was taken from him? At any rate, it's still Driscoll ball at the 48-yard line.
They ran a one-man screen out here, brought just the tackle out to lead the play to Nudo, and it was well covered by Newton. And bringing up now a 3rd and 43, 3rd and 34. See, they like to have a little bit of a challenge, Driscoll, so they go farther back just to see what they can do.
22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions for Phil Petey coming into this ball game. Or actually, after 2 touchdown passes tonight, that's updated. Petey looking deep and almost picked off. Doug Clare, the diving attempt.
I think Petey here thought he was going to run an out, but he goes deep and almost an interception. Good effort there, but unfortunately wasn't able to come up with the ball. But I think there's a little confusion there between Petey and his wide receiver.
Kyle Jenkins on to punt. It's been a long time since we've seen him punt tonight. I think he has a punt tonight.
Yeah, we did, because they fumbled the punt when he kicked it over to the right sideline earlier.
Actually, this will be his 3rd. That's taken at the 25 by Richards. He runs east-west and now up to the 35 and now out at the 39. Flag on the play.
We're going to have a clip right here on the sidelines right at the end of that play.
32-yard punt, 14-yard return. And if the officials agree with Mr. Bradshaw,
block in the back.
Eagles will have to give some of that back.
The fans don't like it, but it's a block in the back. You'll see it here at the end. Here's the kick by Jenkins.
Watch the shoe. He threw a shoe. That's bad if you're riding a horse, and not real good if you're a punter either when the wind chill's 16.
There's the clip right there at the end of the play.
And a bad penalty there because he was running out of bounds anyway. 1st and 10 from the 28. Another one of those mistakes that Bob Horst was talking about at halftime. Semple on the quarterback keep. Not much doing there. Jenkins in his face again, as he's been most of the night. And a gain of 1 for Semple.
Just been a frustrating night, I think, for Jake. He's really been trying to make things happen on offense there. He's trying to do it with his legs rather than his arm, and just unfortunately, the offensive line doesn't give him a big enough hole to get through, and Jenkins makes a good play.
Jake Semple, 4.7 GPA out of 5, and has an ACT that's through the roof too. He and his teammates have not been able to figure out this Driscoll defense though. Here's the pitch in the flat to Cable, and he's out close to first down yardage, and I think he has it. He does. He's out to the 39-yard line.
Nice play here, just this play that they just slip him out of the backfield. He goes one-on-one. If he can make some people miss, he gets a first down, and he does it there. That's the 2nd time that play's been successful. Just a slow little slip pass out here, out of the backfield. Cable turns the ball, turns upfield, able to get first down yardage.
Picked up 10. It's 1st and 10 from the 39 as the Eagles try to get something going again here. They did late in the first half, move the ball a little bit until the interception. Now another short pass to Cable for no gain. No gain that time. Cable, who has 425 receiving yards. Check that, 423 receiving yards. He's almost 50-50. 425 yards rushing, 423 receiving coming into the night. Semple calls him the Eagles' do-it-all guy. And there's the difference in yardage. Better than 2-1 for the Highlanders. 2nd and 10. Another quick hit to Clay Britton this time, and he's out to the 47-yard line. Pickup of 8.
Nice job by Semple to get rid of the ball quickly for a nice gain. Bringing up 3rd down and short now. Here it is. He just catches the ball, turns his feet, gets rid of it quickly. Didn't even have his hands on the laces, just wanted to get the ball out there. And a nice job by Britton to get close to the first down.
And we saw them do that against Muhammad Seymour last week. They had the ball, and I think I mentioned it earlier in the game, like most teams would run out of clock with the running game. They did it with their passing game. Quick hits like that, able to move the ball down the field and eat up some clock. And trying to keep it going here and get across midfield. 3rd and 2. Semple almost picked off. Mike Fabrizi was there.
Yeah, he wants that one back. That was right in his gut here. Semple trying to kind of squeeze it in a very tight window here. Fabrizi's right in front, slides in front, drops the ball. Yep, he wanted to get a INT behind his name, but unfortunately he drops it. Here he is firing the ball. Fabrizi cuts in front and just couldn't hold on.
Ashcraft will have to punt. Standing at his own 33. Redpath standing at his own 20. That one up into the wind. Redpath picks it up at the 29. And gets about 5 yards on the return. Mike Redpath, senior. Punt of 24. And a pickup of 10. 6:26 to go, and it's been all Driscoll Catholic in this ball game. And we've seen the Highlanders so many times here. The first time we saw them was a great game against Prairie Central. Or check that, it was against Mount Carmel, wasn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here's Tranchitella. Slips through a tackle and gains about 7 yards. They beat Mount Carmel in that first game in a very close game, and then came back the next year and shut out Mount Carmel. And interesting, the quarterback for Mount Carmel, Luke Drone, is now the starting quarterback at Illinois State University. Had a great season this season. They went 7-4. They were 3-0 against teams that made the NCAA playoffs.
Really?
Luke and they did not make it.
As a junior, he threw 3 touchdown passes in that great, I think, 42-41 game.
Right.
And then we had a rematch next year, highly anticipated. All year it was marked out, and then Driscoll really came and had to put just a licking on him here and won, I think, 41-0 that year. But Luke Drone had a great career.
Nudo gains a yard or two. Well, he went to Illinois State on a baseball scholarship and walked on to Denver Johnson's team and had himself a great year. So kind of fun to see a guy who had success here, didn't win, but had a great game there as a junior. And did that one go to overtime?
Yeah, it was an overtime game.
And they went for 2. That's right.
Yeah.
Went for 2 and lost.
3rd down and 2 here.
Driscoll in the wishbone. The give is to Tranchitella, and he's on his way to the 30. Steps back inside and brought down at the 16-yard line. Sean Martin finally runs him down. Pickup of 37 for John Tranchitella.
Out of the wishbone here, they just turn and give the Tranchitella, and they got a huge opening. Justin Nudo's out front here. You'll see him run down the field. Tranchitella sets him up, waits for him to block, and makes a cutback here. Great gain. You see his stats there. That's just his rushing stats. He's got 2 big touchdowns. And here's another replay here. You see Nudo coming through. He hits the first man, keeps on going.
Mike Berzawa says since he verbally committed to play at Northern Illinois, he's really taken it up another level. 67 yards now on the ball game.
Well, he's joining a good group there at Northern. They're excited. They play next Thursday night on ESPN for the MAC championship, and then on to a bowl game this year. Again, congratulations to Coach Novak and the Huskies. I'm looking forward to a rematch against Akron. They lost earlier in the season. They got another crack at them next Thursday in the MAC championship.
1st and goal from the 9. If they score here, it's a running clock. Petey in the shotgun. Looking for Fantano. Tucks it in and takes it down to the 1-yard line instead. Fantano was trying desperately to get open in that far corner, could not, and Petey just tucks it in and goes.
He was trying to throw it. He gave it every chance. He really, really wants to throw this ball. Finally, he's like, I can't do anything else. I'll just tuck it, and he gets down to the 1. I think he wanted to get a touchdown pass. Now he realizes he's probably going to hand it off to one of his boys in the backfield here.
He had a 20-yard touchdown run against Coal City last week on 4th and inches. He said the hole opened up, and the next thing I knew, I was in the end zone.
Yep. Number 24, we got a backup in the game here, which is good. Maybe he's going to get
Louis
touchdown.
Maselli, senior running back, number 24. He gets the handoff. Maselli hit at the line and falls forward into the end zone. Louis Maselli with the touchdown. So really spreading the wealth now. Getting the senior into the ball game. Nice touch there by Mike Berzawa.
He gets a little help here right at the end by Justin Nudo, a little push. Gets into the end zone. Everybody's excited for him. It's great to see. Great job by Coach Berzawa to get another guy in. I'm sure he's been a hard worker his whole career. He gets a touchdown in the state championship game. That's a great memory for him.
And another extra point attempt for Ryan Feldy. The junior kicker. Been perfect tonight. And he is now perfect. 6 for 6.
He was perfect before that. He continues
He's
his
still
perfection.
perfect.
He's
Exactly.
still perfect.
42-0 our score with 4:22 left in the third. Back after these local messages. Ryan Feldy ready to kick off again for Driscoll, up 42-0 now in this 4A state championship
See
game.
that pumpkin ball he's kicking? That was like the oldest ball I've ever seen. Can't they afford to get nice footballs at Driscoll? Look at that thing.
Maybe this one flies better. You know those kickers, eh?
Yeah, they got to have their special ball.
Richards fumbles the kickoff at the 20, down at the 22. And that's where Newton will start with, yes, a running clock. And you hate to see this happen to any team, especially, I guess, in a state championship. And the great year Newton has had. There's the scoring drive for Driscoll, 2:04, a long scoring drive for them tonight. They've scored quickly.
I'd really like to see them get some points on the board here, though. At least put a drive together. They can get some points.
It's been tough going for All-State quarterback Jake Semple and the Eagles. There's the handoff to Cable. He's got some room to run. Pick up about 6. And when we talked to Bob Horst earlier this week, I asked him, have you seen what the strengths and weaknesses of your opponent? And he said, well, I haven't found much weakness-wise, and hadn't found anything here tonight, really.
No, they have not really shown any weaknesses. They've really played well. Unfortunately, Newton hasn't put a lot of pressure on them with their passing game. They've made some mistakes throwing the football, had a few key drops. But that's partly because of the play of Driscoll, not just the miscues on Newton's part. There's a big hit there.
Mike
Fabrizi came in, and again, the physical play of Driscoll.
Newton played in that 7-on-7 passing league here at the U of I over the summer, won their division, and they played against bigger schools and bigger teams. They won against bigger teams this year. Charleston, Effingham, Breeze Central, Anna Jonesboro all had big lines, and they were able to beat them. And the line was a problem, but the coverage has been a problem too. The defense of Driscoll working well on both up front and in back as Cable picks up the first down for Newton.
See, the thing with Driscoll is there. No, you can go through this, Lee.
Yeah, take a quick look at the playoff history. 5 consecutive appearances for Driscoll. This is the 11th appearance for Newton. Playoff record 43-9 for Driscoll, and that includes 24 straight wins, soon to be 25. As we have gone to the running clock here, 42-0 the score. 1st and 10 for Newton at their own 36. Handoff again to Cable. Well, they've had a little success with this now.
You were talking earlier, Lee, about the success Newton's had against some of these bigger teams. The thing with Driscoll is you can't really consider them just a big team.
No.
They're quick too. So at the line positions, they're big, strong, physical. Linebackers, they're prototypical linebackers. They're big, strong, fast. Their defensive backs can really fly, but they're also physical. So it's not like they're going against a bigger, slower team. They're quick. They have as much speed as Newton does, but they're just more physical. So it's just a tough matchup here for Newton.
Semple keeps it himself and has nowhere to go. Giacobbe in on the stop. Jenkins was there as well.
Jenkins has really shown why he's an all-stater tonight. He's really made some big plays. Really, the big play of this game, not that Newton really, I think, could really hang with them for very long, but they were playing pretty good football. They had some breaks in the first quarter, and then Jenkins, by himself, it wasn't a rushed punt, but he was the only guy rushing the punt, and he went through 3 defenders and blocked the punt. And then they scored in 2 plays, and after that, the floodgates were open. That was a big play by Kyle Jenkins.
And Mike Brazawa says he's almost impossible to block one-on-one. 6'5", 235. Semple back to throw, has Richards, and Richards can't hang on. It's been a tough night for Levi Richards.
Yep, nice throw there by Jake Semple. He just stood in the pocket nice, stepped right at the target, delivered a strike right between the numbers, and Levi just couldn't hold on to it.
All right, that's the end of our third quarter. Driscoll well on their way to their 5th straight state championship. 42-0 back after these local messages. Followed by...
Christmas is just around the corner. Looking for a special gift or stocking stuffer? Then check out these 3 great books. Why Mascots Have Tails details how some of the great school nicknames came to be. Taylor Bell's Sweet Charlie, Dyke, Cassie, and Bobby Joe covers Illinois basketball history from the 1940s through the 90s. And Once There Were Giants chronicles the greatest March Madness story, Hebron's run to win the 1952 state basketball title. Check it all out at IHSA.org.
4th and 4 to start the fourth quarter. Ashcraft to punt. Sinise is back for the Highlanders, standing at his own 22-yard line. Dominic Sinise fields it at his 22. Out to the 35, pickup of about 13. 36-yard punt for Ashcraft. Before we get too deep into this, I know Bill Horst and the Newton Eagles want to send out best wishes to Bill Huff. He is a huge Newton Eagles fan, goes out to practice every day. Following the Muhammad Seymour win last week, he had a heart attack on the field. Rescue crews were there. The trainers for Newton were out there to tend to him. He is hospitalized, had a quadruple bypass, and he's doing well and getting better and convalescing well. Some of the players went by to see him this week, so God bless you, Bill, and continued success in your recovery. It's been some wild emotions for Newton, especially that day. And then on top of that, November 15th, a tornado ripped through just outside of Newton. The grade school kids are on the bus. They're picked up first. They go to the high school. That's when the tornado came through. And Bob Horst really gave his kids a lot of credit, his football team a lot of credit for helping get the young kids off the bus into the school into safety. So that's
great.
Those are the most important things. It's
yeah.
It's tough to see for Newton to go through this tonight, but they're one of their biggest fans who had a heart attack is doing well. Nobody was hurt in the tornado, so those real life things are what help you. And hey, it's going to be second place, but how many teams in the state would trade you?
It's been a fantastic year for Newton, and their fans know it. You'll see at the end of the game how much appreciation they have for the kids that have played so hard. Great season and the farthest they've ever come. And Newton is going to start a tradition. Maybe they're the next Driscoll. They're going to start a tradition here that they play in a regular way here in Champaign for the state championship. We got a lot of the backups in here, Lee, and the second group is coming in here now. Get some of these guys' names when they had an opportunity to play here.
Colin Peterman, the quarterback. We've got Newton and Peterman. Sounds like the Seinfeld show. The give was to Matt Miller, and Cable came up with the big tackle.
Here's a look at this, just the pitch, and Cable comes in off of his linebacker spot and really makes a big play. Cable's made some good plays all night, both on the offensive side and defensive side. He's really played a pretty good game. He's still trying to get the crowd going, as you see there. He's got some emotion, and that's what this game's about. And unfortunately, it hasn't had a lot to cheer about, but he's still playing hard, and he's had a great game tonight.
Made it to state on the relay team and track. Punt.
Ooh,
and it looked like it might have gotten tipped, maybe. Did it?
If it didn't,
out of
it
bounds
wasn't very
at the
good
42. Kick of just 11 yards. Best ever 5-year records, and here you get a look at them. Providence Catholic 67-3 between 94 and 98. Mount Carmel 88-92, they were 65-4. Driscoll from 2001 through now 65-5. Joliet Catholic 60-5, and then Pittsfield 7 years in a row they went 9-0
before the state playoffs. Imagine what that might have been if they had playoffs.
Outstanding. Simple to throw.
Nice
As a man, it's Richards, hangs on and brought down at the 11-yard line.
He's shaken up a little bit too after that great throw he got hit at. Or no, that's not Semple. Who is that down there? Here he is. He stands in here, does a nice job throwing right on the money. Good catch by Richards. Nice pass. First down.
Check that. That's the 16-yard line. We've got a man down at midfield.
Can't tell who that is down there. Looks like it's a here he's up here. That's number 72. That's Stephen Frichtel. Looks like he's okay.
Junior lineman, 6'4", 215 pounds, walks off under his own power. And so the Eagles looking to get their first score of the game. Cable in motion, takes the handoff from Semple, tries to get outside, and he's brought down at about the line of scrimmage. Nick Lombardo with the tackle.
Got a lot of backups in here for Driscoll, and they've got a lot of pride in their program. I'm sure they're trying to keep Newton out of the end zone and preserve the shutout.
7 minutes and running clock. 42-0 the score. Semple on 2nd and 10 from the 16. Looks across the middle, and pass interference will be the call.
Yep.
As Richards was hit before the ball got there. Mike Lotz made contact before the ball arrived, and that'll be a penalty against the Highlanders.
Here you see it right coming across the middle, and Richards just gets hit right there by Lotz, and pretty clear-cut call there for the official. And that'll be half the distance with an automatic first down. Although the referees here are talking it over, there's Joe Elder there and our head referee.
We have no penalty.
Oh, they wave it off. I thought that was pretty cut and dry.
I didn't see, maybe the ball was tipped at the line. I'm not sure. That'd be the only reason I would see that they would have waved that off. But
It'll be 3rd and 10 now. Semple looks for Mendenhall, and he was well covered. Nick Lombardo there in the coverage.
Brings up 4th and 10 here. I'd like to see them get an opportunity to get in the end zone here. Going to call timeout and talk it over.
Newton takes timeout with 5:18 to play. 42-0 our score. Back after these local messages. And we're back at Memorial Stadium. 5:18 to play. 42-0 Driscoll. And the Highlanders defense on the sideline. The starters all fired up, even though they lead 42-0. Semple picks up the bobbled snap. Richards has it. First down. No, are they waving it incomplete?
Nope, it's complete.
Oh,
First down.
The side judge on the other side was waving his arms like this. I thought he was motioning incomplete. It is complete. Inside the 5. First down and goal for the Eagles.
He bobbled it, but he kept his eyes on it and made a great catch. Great catch by Levi Richards. Keeping the drive alive, hopeful to get points on the board.
The official was waving his arms as if to say it was incomplete. But it was complete. Semple keeps it himself and gets a yard or two maybe. He's second and goal. You have to like the attitude of Newton not to give up here and keep plugging away.
Sure. Well, that's the kind of team, a team that comes this far and has played all year and has so much pride, and they're not going to quit ever. And it just would be great for their team and for their town to get on the board. The fans are still cheering down here in front of us. They
4 minutes.
They want to score.
Ball hit the turf again, and reaching for the end zone was
fumble.
Cable. What's the ruling?
I think they marked it on the
one. They marked
him
down inside the 1.
Oof. It was close.
They've had some trouble on these
yeah, he fumbles
handoffs.
the ball here. It bounces back up. He reaches out. It almost was a fumble. They could have called that.
Down.
They called him down about the 1. Here's the first fumble. Bounces up here. Cable keeps it, reaches out. And the ball just is short of the goal line, bringing up
his
third
knee was
one.
Down. Semple keeps it for the touchdown.
There he is. He's in.
No, they still haven't signaled touchdown.
Yeah,
now they do. Trying to make it dramatic, I guess.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, there's not much drama left, unfortunately, but it's nice to see them get on the board.
Took them almost 45 minutes of clock time to finally do it. But they do get on the board, and Will May will try the extra point. 36 of 40 on point after attempts this season.
Nice leg.
And it's 42-7, and the running clock will go away for the final 3:11. But Driscoll is only 3:11 away from state championship history, as they will win their 5th straight state championship, unprecedented in IHSA history. Here's a look at our scores from earlier today in a hotly contested game. Freeport-Acquin holds off Cambridge 30-28. Game we had for you earlier, Dakota over Aledo 20-15. Aledo scored on a 97-yard touchdown pass with only 4 minutes to play, and it was Bureau Valley winning the 3A state championship. Mike Berzawa, first-year head coach, and going into this season, he said, we have only one problem. We only have one football. And when you look at the weapons they have, they've been able to spread that one football around and keep everybody happy and on track to their 5th straight state championship.
Yeah, well, that's a sign of a good team and unselfishness. And if you're going to have a successful program like Driscoll, they know that the team is bigger than any one person, and that they've shared the ball well, and they've been very, very successful by doing that. And it was not a one-man team. This was not a team where you would say there's one person they've had Greg Turner in the past few years, 2 years ago, and he was kind of their go-to guy. But this year they didn't really have one guy, and it really was a great whole team effort here from Driscoll all season, and was shown tonight as well.
May kicks off and it rolls into the end zone where the touchback is called, and Driscoll will have the ball from their own 20-yard line. There's the scoring drive as Newton gets on the board for the first time tonight. 8 plays, 42 yards. Took 5:29, and Semple, the All-State quarterback, sometimes All-Stater, with the touchdown run, as it's a Gatorade jug, but that's water. They're prowling for Mike Berzawa. It wasn't all smooth sailing. We mentioned that 21-14 win in the opening game at Rock Island Alleman, and Alleman had a throw into the end zone that would have tied the game. Justin Nudo picked off the pass that would have tied the game in that ball game.
There it is. Oh, he got it good. He got it double.
Oh, that's got to feel good tonight, doesn't it? I mean, really. He's out there without a coat on to begin with.
They did it a little too early. He's got 3 minutes almost now. He's got to go out in the cold with it.
Yeah, plus the TV interview with Mike Clef coming up, and the fun up on the trophy stand. Louis Maselli, another run. There's Mike Berzawa, did a great job taking over for Tim Rackey, and he gives a lot of credit to his assistant coaches. And you look at that Driscoll tradition. He was on that 91 state championship team. Scored 4 touchdowns against Robinson, by the way. We talked to Scott Johnson, and we're going to get Mike in the records. He wasn't in the records on the website, but he's going to be on there.
Okay, so there we go.
4 touchdowns against Robinson as it's 1st and 10. And the give was to didn't catch who that was. Joe Lara, maybe?
It's pretty impressively, all year this team has a bullseye, on it, and they play in a real tough conference. Obviously, Montini and St. Francis, IC, Marion Central Catholic, they play in a tough conference, and they were able to go through their schedule without a blemish, and people are fired up to play Driscoll every week. They want to knock off the big boys, and they just continue to rise to the occasion. They didn't blow out a lot of people this year. You look at their scores. They do what they need to do to win football games, and they have so many weapons that they kind of play how they have to. They gear up. They play really looking towards the playoffs. It's not, they don't lay everything out on the table early. They keep and they kind of reserve some things. They really gear up for playoff time, and obviously it pays off for them. In the last 5 years, they've been state champions, and they'll be back again next year.
5 black and golden rings. It's 12 days of Christmas early for the Highlanders.
That's right.
As they take a knee, number 8, Tony Rallo in there now at quarterback, and Mike Berzawa gets a big hug. And it wasn't always smooth sailing. A 1-touchdown win against Alleman. They had a tough game against Montini earlier in the year, 21-14. And I talked to Mike Berzawa probably a month ago to talk about his team, thinking they're on the path. Mm-hmm. They're probably going to make state again. And he didn't want to talk about it. I mean, his team wasn't playing that well. He said, we didn't really start playing well till week 8 or 9, even into the playoffs. We didn't really hit our stride. They had a lot of new guys on the line. But it all pays off here tonight. 42-7, the final. Driscoll Catholic, your 4A state champions. And it's Illinois football history, an unprecedented 5th straight state championship for the Driscoll Catholic Highlanders. You look at all the great state dynasties in football. Mount Carmel, New Lenox Providence, Joliet Catholic, all had won 4 straight. None of them had won 5 in a row. You're seeing it for the first time here tonight. Congratulations to Mike Berzawa, his staff, and his team. He's a grad. He's got 3 or 4 other guys on that coaching staff that not only know about the tradition, they lived it as players, and they're Driscoll alums. And they say they're a family, and the The family tradition continues here tonight.
Yes, it does. And you know, there's kids that came down here. We saw them earlier with no shirts and painting their chests and the whole deal. And they're looking forward to when they can become Highlanders.
Mike Berzawa's wife trying to give him a blanket.
He doesn't want any part of it, does he?
No blanket.
Yeah.
And he's with Mike Cleff, and now wife is putting on the blanket. She gets turned down again. Mike, no blankets.
Thanks, Greg. Mike Berzawa was a tough guy. He resisted the blanket. Mike, you made history. What more can you say?
You know what? It's just a tribute to our tradition and our program. Our program's never been about one person. And the team from 01 and all the last 4 or 5 years in 91, it's been outstanding, and it's a brotherhood. Driscoll Catholic football is a fraternity, and our guys were not going to be denied tonight, and they play with a lot of heart and a lot of emotion, so it's just got to sink in right now.
Mike, I know every state championship's been special. It's your alma mater. You've been an assistant coach, but let's face it, as a head coach, it's got to feel a little bit different, maybe a little bit sweeter.
No, there's no doubt about it. It's special, and you know what? It still feels great. I've been blessed to have the opportunity to coach here with a wonderful, great group of coaches, wonderful seniors. We had a veteran group of kids who bought into what we talked about, so that's been outstanding.
You know, Mike, so many players tonight for you played big. Tranchitella, I think, scored 3 times. Your quarterback, Petey, was terrific. Nudo, great. But Lee and Greg, who called the game up in the booth, thought that a play by one of your all-staters early in the game, which wasn't even a score, but it was a block punt, they thought that was a real statement play and really got you guys rolling. Do you agree?
No doubt about it. Anything on special teams can turn a game around, and that really helped us out with the field position, especially in that first quarter. But, you know, it's just a tribute to everybody at Driscoll Catholic. The school's been supportive, and just happy to be part of it right now.
I mean, Mike, 5 titles in a row. 5 in a row.
No, it's outstanding. There's no doubt about that. And you want to know what? We've got a lot of respect around the state, but you know, now that we've accomplished 5, you know, we've been on a vision quest, and we've set now that we've done it, you know, we're definitely going to be up there with the best in history. And we told these seniors in Lake Forest when we had our summer camp, we watched Remember the Titans, and we asked them how they wanted to be remembered, and they showed us how with their effort tonight and this whole season. Mike, well put. Stay right here. We're going to bring in a fella. I want you to talk about this guy right here. Mike, how good is he? Oh, Johnny's, we love Johnny. Johnny's an unselfish, great player. Obviously, he's been blessed with a tremendous amount of talent and speed. But Johnny, you know, he's a 3-year starter, our true 3-year starter, and he's going to go on and have a great college career. So we've been blessed to have Johnny, and just a wonderful kid on and off the field. John Tranchitella, our Country Insurance and Financial Services Player of the Game. And John, everything about this on the sidelines, I talked to a lot of the guys on the sidelines, it's all about team, and it's all about team. And you scored 3 times, but on your touchdown catches, boy, I thought Phil also made some great throws.
Phil threw the ball great today. The offensive line opened up some great holes. So, I mean, they gave me all my opportunities, and I just stuck through with them and took care of it. So.
How good is this team? How good is this program? I mean, 5 titles in a row, unmatched. I'm asking someone who's on it.
We have some really good success in the last few years, so I mean, we're a pretty good program here, so it's good.
All right, John, let's talk also about another guy in the backfield who had a big game, and in fact threw a great downfield block for you, Justin Nudo. This guy's a ton as well.
He blew up the holes for me. He went up there and just blocked and everything, so he's an awesome lead blocker, and he ran the ball hard all year too as well.
All right, John Tranchitella, our Country Insurance and Financial Services Player of the Game. Congratulations. Mike, congratulations. I think you deserve to celebrate and go get a trophy.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
All right. You can tell a couple of very happy members of the Highlanders. Why not, Lee and Greg? They were dominating tonight. 5 state titles in a row. What more can you say? Back to you guys.
Mike, thanks a bunch. Congratulations to the Highlanders. Congratulations to the Eagles. They get their 2nd place trophy here tonight, and obviously they're disappointed. They would have liked to have won the state championship. Here's our Illinois Army National Guard defensive play of the game. A pretty good stick coming up here by the Highlanders. Ooh, remember that one. That was Frank Tenuto with the Illinois Army National Guard defensive play of the game. A big stick early in the ball game, and now the Highlanders go to the high ground. There's another brave soul. Braveheart, that was kind of the theme for Mike Berzawa back in '91 when he was a player. They kind of adopted that Braveheart theme, and they still to this day, if you've seen Braveheart, how they walked into battle arm in arm, they still do that before the game with their bagpipe man, and that brotherhood still marches on here tonight.
Yeah, it was a great team effort. They played well all year as a team, and just exciting to see those guys. I know how proud they are standing there up on the victory stand, all their captains, and they've thought back at the career and all the state championships they've now won being a part of this program. What a great accomplishment. It's almost impossible, or you think about it with high school football, to go 4 straight times, let alone 5, and these kids don't know anything but medals around their necks as a state champion at Driscoll, and that's a great achievement.
Well, we saw Peoria Manual win an unprecedented 4 straight state basketball championships, and there's just that undefinable quality that they have, that confidence, that intelligence on their field of play or their court of play, and this team showed every bit of that here tonight. Driscoll Catholic, your 4A state champions. Congratulations to Mike Berzawa, his staff, and the Highlanders. Back with more from Memorial Stadium after these local messages.
Memorial Stadium, where just a few minutes ago the Driscoll Catholic Highlanders accepted their first place trophy for defeating the Newton Eagles 42-7 to win the Class 4A state championship. It is the Highlanders' 5th state championship in a row. So capping off quite a first day here of the state high school football finals. In the 1A game, it was the Ackman Bulldogs defeating the Cambridge Vikings by a final of 30-28. In the Class 2A game, the Dakota Indians prevailed over the Aledo Green Dragons by a final of 20-15. In the Class 3A game, the Bureau Valley Storm dominated over the Unity Rockets by a final of 34-7. And in the game just completed in 4A, it was Driscoll Catholic, the Highlanders, defeating Newton by a final of 42-7. And of course, that marks the 5th straight title that the Highlanders have won in state high school football. And of course, that is a state record, surpassing the previous one held by Joliet Catholic. Now, just to recap tomorrow and preview tomorrow, we have 4 more games on tap, starting with the Class 5A game, and that is between Rock Island Alleman and the Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones. So the Pioneers and the Cyclones will be taking on each other. And after that, we will be having the 6A game between the Big 12 school Normal Community and Morris. That will be followed by the 7A game, in which Frank Lenti and his Mount Carmel Caravan will be going up against Prospect. And then that is capped off by the 8A game between Maine South and Lincoln Way East. So another dandy day shaping up tomorrow. The 5A, 6A, 7A, and 8A games, they will kick off at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. And once again, the first game of the day is starting between the Cyclones of Sacred Heart Griffin out of Springfield and the Rock Island Alleman Pioneers. They are based out of the Quad Cities in what should be a dandy of a matchup. So a great first day of high school football. And we are looking forward to another fantastic second day, 4 more games coming up at Memorial Stadium on the U of I campus. Hope you've enjoyed it. I believe that Lee and Greg have some final comments, and for that, we send it back up to the booth. Lee, Greg?
All right, Mike, thanks a lot. And Greg Bradshaw, when you look at the great programs that have won 4 straight state titles, Mount Carmel, New Lenox Providence, Joliet Catholic, and now Driscoll Catholic, the only one to win 5 straight. That is prime company indeed. That's Hall of Fame type stuff right there.
Yes, it is, and they proved that they were the most dominant team probably in any class this year. We have not seen dominating performances like we saw tonight. This may be one of the most dominating performances in state football history, and it's just an impressive victory, and I want to wish Coach Berzawa just a great congratulations and their whole team and whole staff on setting this record. And now there's something for other people to shoot for. They have to start from scratch.
And it was a work in progress. You know, we talked to Mike Brazawa, and he said, you know, earlier in the year they talked about the 5 straight state championships over the summer, early in the season. Then they let it go, but some of that pressure was coming through, and the players, you know, he's like, just work on what we can control. And they did that, and they came through with the win here tonight.
Yeah, you can tell they're well coached, and they don't make many mistakes. And when you tie that in with all the hard work that they do, they deserved what they got, 5 straight championships.
Congratulations to Newton for their first state trophy in football. Congratulations to the Driscoll Catholic Highlanders, your 4A state champions, the first team ever to win 5 straight state championships in the state of Illinois. Good night from Champaign.